man. Let's go. Let's go. Coming on strong. Coming on strong. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright. Turn that off. Let's go and see what you got there. Yeah. So I think I would probably end up doing a video about this, right? So what you're looking at is patient pictures. Let me see if I can make myself small. And I can't. I ain't supposed to be touching the screen anyway. I'm driving. But I wanted to kind of get on and kind of talk about some of this stuff here, right? What you're looking at. Let me see if I can slide over here. Oh, you can't over here. Let me get that up off of there. That ain't even gonna help me for real. Alright, here we go. Yes, sir. Let's get it in. Would you rather Yes, sir. What's up with you, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? See if I can get that off of there. What's good with you? Coming on strong, man. I'm a dentist, right? Figured I'd go ahead and hop on real fast, answer a few questions on my way to work. Just drop my kids off, and so I figured I'd just jump on live while I'm driving. Most of the time, I'm not really able to get on during this time because I'm working, right? So being able to get on, because this is usually like, that's what my what's it called? YouTube strategy analyst, whatever that is. That's what it's pretty much. It's talking about, like, this is the peak time for me to hop on, right? So what's up, kid? Blessings to you, man. Blessings to you. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump on, man. If y'all have questions, I got a little poll right here, right? Seeing what you guys think about. I know that there's a lot of people that kind of feel a little shaky about seeing a dentist, and so you know how it is. Sometimes when you go in, sometimes you can have a lot of anxiety and fear about what's going on. And so I just wanted to just kind of get on, see if you guys have any questions, concerns, whatever like that. We can talk about them. Maybe I can talk you through something. Maybe you have some questions about maybe something that's going on inside your mouth, something that's going on in your kid's mouth, maybe your wife's mouth, whoever. We in here just trying to be of service. So let me know what you guys are thinking, and hopefully I'll be able to shed some light on it. He said, is it normal this is what Bradley Fearson said. Blessings, man. Appreciate you being on. Is it normal to have wisdom teeth and have no pain? Man, so that's a really good question. So like when you have wisdom teeth, it really just depends on how they grow in. I'm going to show you really quickly a little picture, not of what we're talking about, but it's right here. So this is an x-ray, right? Of the, you can kind of see the patient's mouth. And so if you go right there, those are your molars. And so are your third molars, right? And so those molars sometimes in the back, and depending on the amount of anatomy, how your jaw grows out, whether you get your mom's jaw or your dad's jaw or whatever, sometimes they can grow in a little bit funny, because if you don't have a whole lot of space when it comes to them coming in, sometimes they can come in and they'll be kind of like sideways or flip backwards, We call it like, what we call it in dentistry is called mesio-impaction. So that pretty much means that the teeth are pretty much laying on the side. You can have horizontal impaction. You can even, I've even seen some that were almost upside down. So it just really kind of depends on how much space you have in your lower jaw, right? And then not only that, also, you know, how they grow in. Sometimes you can have teeth like wisdom teeth that just kind of grow up and grow out, and they're normal. So when you bite down, they're not causing any pain, discomfort, and things like that. Most of the time, you only want to go after wisdom teeth if they're causing pain, disruption, or if they're going to affect another tooth where you end up doing like a 2-for-1, right? So you'll, it grows in kind of funny. It starts a cavity on the tooth in front of it. And so then you have to take out both teeth. So to prevent that, a lot of times us as doctors, what we'll do is we'll take out the wisdom tooth before it becomes like a huge problem. That's a great question, man. I appreciate you, Bradley. Does anybody else have any questions about, and again, you guys have to, I got to say this, every time I'm going to say something, I'm always going to say this. You got to go see somebody, right? I'm just talking in general. I can't do it for you. I can't, you know, not necessarily things that you can do. But I appreciate you, Brad, man. Thanks for answering that question. Does anybody else have any questions? Again, you got to go see somebody. They got to take x-rays and do a clinical exam, right? They got to do a clinical exam and x-rays, and then they'll be able to diagnose. It's really, really hard to diagnose somebody on YouTube, on social media. I am just generally giving you just general information for you to go and do. Blessings, man. Appreciate you, Brad. For you to go and do what you do as far as just taking control of your dental health, right? Pretty much my goal right now with being a YouTube creator is pretty much just trying to, you know, just kind of help people, right? Because I think a lot of times, you know, people struggle just because, you know, maybe they haven't had exposure. Maybe they haven't met the right dentist. Maybe it just wasn't explained in a way that they could grasp. Not saying nobody's stupid, but just sometimes when you don't have enough information about a thing, it makes you really, really nervous, right? Makes you nervous about the unknown. Everybody struggles with that. It ain't even got nothing to do with just teeth, just anything. So that's why I'm here. That's the goal. That's the focus. I encourage everybody to go tap into my videos, look at some of the deep cleanings, kind of compare yourself with some of the stuff I have. Now, some of the stuff that I have on my channel, right, is crazy. So these are extreme cases, extreme. But the other thing about that, right, is it helps you to kind of get perspective about where you are on the spectrum. So all the stuff that I have are eye-catching, things that you'll see and you'll be like, man, dang. And hopefully it'll help you be like, man, maybe I ain't that bad. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But again, you guys have to be very, very sensitive to, you know, what's going on with you systematically. And I know teeth kind of they get it on the back burner, right? It's because a lot of times people are more concerned about other things, as you should. As you should. Does anybody else have any other questions? I see y'all got my little poll going. Everybody like, man, I am cool on that. I got I got 2 people who was like, man, I ain't trying to get nothing done with the dentist. And then I got 1 person that said they're cool with a deep cleaning. Now, I guess I can talk about this, right? So like if you're getting like a deep cleaning, most of the time, that means they got to go under your gums. And so when they go under your gums, that means they got to numb you up. So that person said they okay with the deep cleaning. That means they all right with shots. Shots don't bother them. Local anesthetic is a dentist's friend. It helps me. It helps calm my nerves. And it also helps calm the patient's nerves too as well. Does anybody else have any other questions? I appreciate the 2 that are on. Right before I get off, I'm going to try and maybe do another 5 minutes or so. And then I'm going to hop off. But just here to be of service if you got. And we'll get right to it. We'll get right to it. Let me see what this poll talking about. Still got 2 for none and got 1 for deep cleaning. 1 for deep cleaning. So what's the picture in the back is a picture of a patient that grinds. And so you can kind of see, can't see it because what's the name? But you can kind of see how, 1, how flat that patient's teeth are. And 2, you can kind of see I'm gonna have to do a video there. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a video about patients that grind their teeth because, you know, with the government shutdown, with all the things that are going on in your life, it can be really stressful. And one of the things about grinding your teeth or clenching your teeth, a lot of people do that because of how much stress they're under. Everybody's under a large amount of stress, you know, with just all the things that are going on in the world. And it's challenging to kind of navigate through some of these spaces because of all of that. So what do? You have stress, so you grind your teeth. Once you grind your teeth, it moves into a phenomenon called attrition. Attrition means pretty much where you're grinding off the outer covering of your teeth. And a lot of times when you do, or you're grinding your teeth, you may have jaw pain, you can have sensitivity, you can have broken teeth, broken fillings, and then you can also have, I've heard, you know, not jaw pain, but I already said that, but like headaches. Headaches is also a big thing when you talk about grinding your teeth. All right, man. Got about another 45 seconds, and if I don't get no questions, I'm going to get off. But I appreciate everybody that's voted, everybody that subscribed, everybody that locked in with me for this brief little moment. It's been an honor hanging out with y'all, man. I love creating content. I love making videos for people to learn more about their health, right? I'm in a space really where I almost feel like I could do this stuff for free, man. I love it that much. I love, you know, having an opportunity to share, to help, to motivate, to build, to challenge, and also to uplift, help people to really understand what's going on with their oral health, because it's important to me, man. Appreciate everybody being on the call, man. I'll be blessed.